Hello, beautiful people. Would you like to see the behind the scenes of furniture restoring and flipping business? No? Well, let me show you. So I'm working on this incredible desk, and it will probably take me another week before I'm finished. And I thought I would give you a little behind the scenes, so you've got an idea what other things I do when I'm not making YouTube videos. And I also wanted to talk about flipping furniture for profit versus restoring it. And I've got the perfect piece to explain the reasons behind it. Alright, let's get started. So this is my workshop, and this small area behind it I use for projects that generate a lot of dust so I don't get it all over my tools. And I'm about to clean it up, but I just wanted to show you what it looks like after a project is finished. It's a total disaster, and the bench that I'm pointing at I'm going to redo pretty soon because I bought a professional table saw, and I'll need to make it a bit smaller so it fits into my shop. To keep a shop like this organized and tidy takes a lot of work. I've got hundreds, if not thousands, of different tools and things that I often misplace when I'm working on something. I can't be bothered to put it away. So when it's all finished, before I start another project, I need to put everything away and clean up so I can actually get to work. That's just me. Alright, so as you're watching this little montage, I want to talk about the reasons why you might want to flip a piece of furniture for a quick sale rather than restore it. But even for people who do mainly restorations, they sometimes receive pieces that they simply don't want to put a lot of effort into, or the furniture just isn't worth it. Or, as it is in my case, I need to have my heart in it and I need to like it and want to work on it. In a little bit, I'll explain exactly why. But now, let me just show you around my shop after it's all been cleaned and it's nice and tidy. There's still many projects I want to get into as far as the organization of my shop, but it is what it is for now. The bandsaw that I'm pointing at and the air compressor, I don't really have a place for them, so that's just where they sit at the moment. The air compressor is actually really good and I recommend it. It's very small and it does exactly what I need. I use it for painting, for my nail gun, and for all sorts of other things. That huge unit that you're looking at, I got it on Facebook Marketplace. It was really difficult to move it. It's just humongous, but it does what I need. I basically repurposed a piece of household furniture for my tool storage. And those are various IKEA units that I made work for what I needed. They hold my cordless power tools and my grinding and sanding tools. This large unit used to be a station for my miter saw. There's some music equipment when I need it, and all sorts of other things. I'll probably remake it eventually because it is working for me right now, but I think I can do better. This is a small one-car garage, but I can't complain because I used to work in the back alley behind my flat, so this is a huge upgrade for me. But obviously I could do with more space. This is why I built this multifunctional workbench. I will link the video down below. It's amazing, I absolutely love it and it saved me so much space. I need to replace this bucket though because it's not strong enough for this dust extraction system. Even though I built in a valve that should prevent it from caving in, it still does it. If you haven't seen this video, because for whatever reason YouTube didn't recommend it to anybody, I do have a dust extraction system and I can connect the hose to different tools when I'm using it, so it's super convenient. But as I mentioned before, I'll be making it a bit smaller so I can fit my professional table saw in the workshop. For my grinding and sanding station, I would eventually like to get an oscillating drum sander, but they're very pricey, so won't probably happen anytime soon. As far as this Parkside drill goes, it's not amazing, but it does the job. I will eventually replace it. But that's enough about the workshop. So this is where I keep my furniture, or I guess the furniture that I will work on eventually. And this is the desk that I'm working on at the moment as I'm recording this video, and I will probably have this video ready next week. And this is the butcher's block or the kitchen island, whatever you want to call it, that I'll be working on today. I had a completely different plan for this trolley, but because the guy I bought it from was incredibly rude to me for no reason, I just don't want to do it. And this is just one of many reasons why you might want to flip a piece of furniture for profit rather than restore it. Alright, so let's get to it. For some reason, the audio from my phone sounds like Lord Vader's breath. And yes, I record everything on my iPhone. I just bought a new microphone that should help with that a lot. So in my future videos, I might be able to actually talk and work at the same time and won't have to spend a lot of time doing voiceovers. And that one person who mentioned in my last video that you missed my voice, this is for you. You're welcome. I soaked the casters in rust remover and water, and I just let them soak for about 5 hours. This is just an easy way to refresh old hardware, hinges or casters. To make my work easier, I use my drill and a plastic brush to give it a good scrub. I use liquid sander, but there's so many products you can use, so this works and I had a lot of it, so I just used it. I'm actually very curious how many of you guys are into furniture flipping, restoration, or any sort of DIY, so please comment below. And also let me know what's your market like as far as what sells and whether you can get a good profit for whatever you make. Have you ever seen one of those Facebook posts that say, normal signs of wear and tear, great condition? And then you start working on it and you realize that it's gonna take you a few days to complete the project. So this one wasn't quite there, but it did take me almost 2 days to finish it. And after a few hours of soaking, the casters look great. And when I was done cleaning the trolley, I left it to dry for several hours. It's pretty funny because I was so excited about this, but it's been sitting here for almost a week just because it will be a lot of work to put it into my workshop and I'll need to redo my workbench to fit it in. Fun fact, after I moved, I haven't even unpacked some of my stuff, so recently when I went through all those things, I realized that I had lots of products that I didn't even know I had, and I often just buy something because I can't find the one I have. Another random fact, this is my backyard. Anyhow, so with this trolley, I was thinking to use oxalic acid and try to remove the stains before I did anything else with it, and then possibly use Restore Finish rather than stripping the whole varnish off and restaining it. Because the trolley wasn't fully dry, I replaced the casters and that was it for the day. Morning beautiful people, it's day 2 and I'm hoping to finish it today. So that's the current setup with the lights. I think they're actually positioned quite well, so I think I'll leave them, but I need to get more of them and possibly more powerful because I don't think that's enough. It makes a huge difference if there's good lighting. Okay, let's get the piece. When I work in my workshop, I always make sure to wear eye protection. The top of the trolley was a bit warped and had some cracks in it, so I wanted to use my hand plane to smooth it out. But first I use my diamond tool sharpening stones to give the blades a nice sharp edge. Next I use my orbital sander to get rid of the varnish and get the wood ready for oxalic acid. The acid is perfect for removing stains and discolorations in wood, and though I don't personally recommend it, it can achieve a very similar effect with household bleach. Depending on the type of the stain, it might take several applications to get the result you want. And once you're done, you need to rinse it with plenty of water, otherwise the acid will continue to work and might bleach the wood and will give you a different color after you've applied the top coat. There was some serious staining on the legs as well, so I used the acid hoping that it would help a little bit. Spoiler alert, it didn't really do much as expected. There was a knife holder attached to the side of the trolley that was in a really rough shape, so I decided to put it through my thicknesser. This gave me a very nice surface, but the stains were still very visible, and even though I used oxalic acid, I was still not happy with the result, and I decided not to use the holder at all. So this is what the top looks like after several applications of the oxalic acid. It wasn't perfect, but was good enough. After much needed coffee break, I did some sanding. And because Lord Vader took over the audio again, I'm just gonna do a voiceover. If you guys do a lot of sanding, buying a decent one will change your life. There are basically two types of orbital sanders. There is 2.5 and 5mm stroke. So that refers to how much the sandpaper moves across the surface. And basically 5mm one moves twice as much, so it covers more surface area and allows you to do your work much quicker. Before purchasing mine, I did a lot of research, and you guys, if you have the money, by all means go ahead and purchase Festool or Merca or whatever, but the one that I bought was Menzer, and it's sold under different brands, and it's basically half the price or even less of that of Festool. I kept applying oxalic acid until I saw no change, and I used my heat gun to speed up the drying process. At that point it was as good as it was gonna get, so I got ready to apply Restore a Finish. To avoid raising the grain with water, I used mineral spirit to clean the trolley. Next I attached the side panel. I applied Restore a Finish in golden oak, and I was quite happy with the result. I also applied a clear coat of camera later on when it was dry. Okay, so I'm finished, and I'm gonna take some pictures right now and post it on Facebook Marketplace. So these are the pictures, and I'm just gonna show you a sneak peek of where I am right now with the next week's project. I hope you guys enjoyed this little behind the scenes video. So this is the desk I'm working on right now. As you can see, it's in a pretty rough condition, and so far I've taken it apart and I've done some repairs, and as of tomorrow I'll be able to get back to it as soon as this video is live. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you feel like I've earned you a subscription, please do subscribe, hit the like button as it helps the algorithm, and have a lovely weekend.